This is the Eating Different panel. I'm going to introduce the three panelists that we have on stage today. First, can I introduce Kevin Law Smith? Let's have a round of applause, please. So if anyone has been drinking any of the iLife products outside today, I think I've had about 3 cans myself. So Kevin is the founder of iLife. As you know, it's a wellness beverage company, and it's really turning these functional drinks into everyday rituals, trying to replace that cup of coffee. John Valentine? There you are. So John is the CEO of Paleo Robbie, Thailand's really go-to for a real organic and natural grocery. It really, I feel like Paleo Robbie is putting health and trust back into the hands of the customer. And David, our last panelist. David, welcome. Can we have a round of applause for David, please? So David is a renowned chef and wellness consultant whose latest ventures blend culinary creativity and holistic wellness. So including, if anyone had any of the food from Slice Whole Foods for lunch, Slice Whole Foods and drink and well-being. So thank you so much, the three of you, for joining me today. I would like to just start off by talking about what it really takes, and maybe keep it to one thing. I think a lot of people here are inspired by your brands, but also perhaps thinking about starting their own brands and being much more conscious with the brands that they buy from. So what is one thing about building a health food brand or a health drink brand that really enables it to be successful? Kevin?
I think a lot of patience, because it's new in the market and there's lots of people wanting to do quick fixes for you, trying to help you, thinking it's a better way, but you have to be persistent and really patient to bring it to the level that you really want. And that's what I think all of us do, and I think John does it the most with Paleo Robbie, with more SKUs than anyone.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think patience is obviously important, transparency and storytelling. So oftentimes if you're doing something like a health food product or something different, something boutique, something that's not done in a mass industrial way, you're putting in extra effort. So being transparent about what you're doing and being able to tell the story of how it's different, to me, that's essential.
Yeah, I would say authentic mission. So I like to think in terms of mission first. So mission ahead of profit in the beginning when starting something out, and then having transparency, authenticity. A lot of what John was saying resonates there with me. So I think that's really important in the beginning. The consumer these days is not a fool, so you have to come and create a brand that is truly authentic and believes in something and live up to that.
And I mean, patience, so being patient and making sure that you're creating something that's authentic, I think 2 really, really great messages. Just off the bat of that, did you guys discover what it was that was authentic about your brands through who you are as human beings, or through where the wellness community is going today, or perhaps a bit of both?
A bit of both. Super inspired by the community, and so the brand is Awaken Your Awareness, built around the ice bath community, actually. So community inspired, collectively transformed, and individually illuminated. So that's what our inspiration. And then also I had cancer. So this was one where I just wanted something that would really help me and help anyone else that's kind of went through the same thing.
Yeah, to add to that, I think it's basically the same thing. Most people are starting from scratching their own itch. I couldn't do this business and work as hard as I do if it was just a great business opportunity selling motor oil. Or apologies if there are motor oil people in the audience.
No, I'm driven by a personal story. So I, of course, observe what's going on. I look at the trends. I look at data. I understand the business nature of these things. But I really started what I start, and I still consider us very much a startup from a personal journey as well. And I feel like I'm a cancer survivor as well. So it really was about trying to find food that I could eat, and then I realized it just wasn't out there in the way that I understand nutrition can heal. So that was really the beginning of that journey. So for me, the creation of Slice was the creation of something that's authentically important personally to me, and I think there's an audience for it.
Great. Thank you, guys. I want to take the conversation in a different direction now, and that's to talk a little bit more about expansion and particularly what we're trying to do with Being, which is bringing these brands into hospitality. So as wellness expands, as we said, into hospitality, hotels, retreats, resorts, how do you see your kind of food brand or your kind of drink brand expanding into that space?
We'd love to see more wellness menus and getting into the community more. So we're learning from the community and wanting to grow with them. And that's where the food and beverage hospitality, that it's still behind. Where in my neighborhood in Bangkok, we have a great ice bath, who just spoke before. We have great food, we have everything. Then if I go to a hotel, it's not one of my expectation. You know, we have a great techno gym at Soho House. We have all these different things. So the hotels almost have to catch up. So that's where we see a massive expansion available, especially in Phuket and in Bangkok.
Thank you.
I echo the sentiment on the ecosystem development and sort of the awareness of people in the hospitality industry around particularly the standards of products. So I think on the soft side, that's what I would say. On the very hard and tangible side, it's just about bringing more and higher standard of products into your venues. You know, I import more than 40 brands from what I think are some of the best producers around the world. So if you have any interest, we can talk about that. But of course, there's Kevin sitting here and some other great brands, I'm sure, in the audience. So it's really just about continually raising the standard of the products that you carry and having a set of values as to why you carry those particular products, like real backbone.
I'd say it's a huge area of growth. I wear two hats. So on one hat, I'm actually a hospitality consultant, so I work with a lot of great hotel brands. And I can tell you at the corporate level, they all speak the right speak. They all want to do it. They all want to bring more wellness and health into their food and beverage programs, but they're not executing it at in a real way. So I think there's a huge opportunity for growth there, and I think that you know, anecdotally, what I notice, if I may, is you go into a lot of hotels and you look at their menus and they say the healthy section. And if you're living life the way that I think healthy and nutritious food should be, there's still nothing for you to eat. They're ignoring the oils. They're ignoring, you know, the fact that all the meats are coming from mass-produced. They're full of hormones. So, you know, there's another level to go to. Hotels have to get to the first stage, and then they maybe get to the second stage.
So, I mean, I think you couldn't be more right. And I think that as demand increases for these types of food, to be in places where you're going to hotels, to resorts, we will be finding your brands in the places that we stay. I just wanted to ask a last question, because food is a lot about relationships. It's about sharing food or sharing a drink with someone. Is there this element of community, or is there this element of social connection that you guys are actively adding to your brands? And is it something important that you think going forward will be a differentiator? Does anyone want to take it?
It's kind of our backbone. So everything we do is around the community, and that community inspiration leads to our R&D, our testing, our tasting, and we're growing with the community, and that's what really gets me out of bed. It's really fantastic. And even today, thank you, everybody. It's been fantastic meeting everybody and being able to experience the team here, and for putting this together.
Yeah, I would just echo the same points. Community is extremely important. In person, through events, I think the people on my right and left are more active than me. I'm usually stuck behind the desk, but we do a lot of content to share the reason for why we carry and import or create the products that we do. So storytelling and being active, whether physically or digitally, with community is extremely important and always will be.
Yeah, community is the heart of everything. I totally agree and echo. You know, both the online community to offline to online, that's one big community. It's super important. I fundamentally believe, and part of our brand is about happiness. And people who eat better, who work out, who live a healthier life, they're just generally nicer people. So that's why I'm here as well. Like being around happier people just creates more happy people. So that's where we're at with community.
Amazing, amazing. Kevin, John, David, guys, thank you so much for joining me on stage today.
Thank you.
Please try these brands. Some of them are outside, and we just have an announcement that after 3:45, everything from Slice will be free. So don't all pillage the stand, but from that point onwards, please go out and try some of David's delicious food. Thank you guys so much.